Hello friends, I am Dr. Poonam Kela working as assistant professor at Modern College of Pharmacy, Nagri. Today I am going to conduct a lecture on cell injury. So let's see what is cell injury. It is defined as variety of stresses to the cell which result into change in its internal and external environment. The cellular responses to cell injury is broadly divided into three types. In first one, as the normal cell increases its functional demand, then adaptation takes place in that atrophy, hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, dysplasia may occur. After removing the stress, normal cell restored. In second one, if the normal cell have mild to moderate stress, then reversible cell injury may occur. In that degeneration, subcellular alteration, intracellular adaptation takes place after removing the stress, repair and healing of the cell takes place. In third one, if the normal cell having severe stress, then irreversible cell injury occur which may lead to cell death. The causes of cell injury is broadly divided into two types: by genetic cause, by acquired cause. By acquired cause, in that first one is hypoxia and ischemia, that is decreased oxygen and blood supply. The next is physical agent, chemical agent and drugs, microbial agents, immunologic agent, nutritional derangement, aging, psychogenic disease, iatrogenic factor and idiopathic diseases. The pathogenesis for reversible cell injury, in that first one is decreased generation of cellular ATP, ischemia due to interruption in blood supply, as well as hypoxia from the other causes limit the supply of oxygen to the cells, which may lead to decreased generation of ATP. Then the second is intracellular lactic acidosis, anaerobic glycolytic pathway for the requirement of energy, that is ATP, result in rapid depletion of glycogen and accumulation of lactic acids, which lead to lowering the intracellular pH. The early fall in intracellular pH result in clumping of nuclear chromatin. Then the third is damage to plasma membrane pump. In that two pump, sodium potassium pump and calcium pump. The first one is failure of sodium potassium pump, in that lowering ATP in the cell and consequent increase ATPase activity interfere with this membrane regulated process. This result in intracellular accumulation of sodium and diffusion of potassium out of the cell. The accumulation of sodium in the cell lead to increase in intracellular water to maintain its osmotic condition. The second is failure of calcium pump. The excess of calcium moves into the cell, that is calcium influx, particularly in the mitochondria, causes swelling. And second is deposition of phospholipid rich amorphous densities. The fourth is reduced protein synthesis. As a result of continued hypoxia, membrane of endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus swell up. The ribosomes are detached from granular endoplasmic reticulum and polysomes are degraded to monosomes, thus dispersing ribosomes in the cytoplasm and inactivating their functions. Then pathogenesis of irreversible cell injury, in that first one is calcium influx. As a result of continued hypoxia, a large cytosolic influx of calcium ion occurs, especially after reperfusion of irreversible injury cell. The excess intracellular calcium collect in the mitochondria, disabling its function. The second is activate phospholipase. As a result of sustained ischemia, there is increased cytosolic influx of calcium in the cell. Increased calcium activates endogenous phospholipases. This in turn degrades membrane phospholipids progressively, which are the main constituent of the lipid bilayer membrane. Besides, there is also decreased replacement synthesis of membrane phospholipase due to reduce in ATP. The third is intracellular proteases. The normal cytoskeletal of the cell is damaged due to degradation by activated intracellular proteases or by physical effect of cell swelling, producing irreversible cell membrane injury. Then another is activated endonucleases, which may lead to three possibilities: pycnosis, karyorrhexis and karyolysis. In pycnosis, condensation and clumping of nucleus which becomes dark basophilic. In karyorrhexis, nuclear fragmentation into small bites disperse in the cytoplasm. And in karyolysis, dissolution of the nucleus takes place. The fifth one is lysosomal hydrolytic enzyme. The lysosomal membrane are damaged and result in escape of lysosomal hydrolytic enzyme. These enzymes are activated due to lack of oxygen in the cells and acidic pH. The next is morphology of reversible cell injury. In that there may be hydrophobic changes, haline changes, mucoid changes and fatty changes. In hydrophobic changes, the accumulation of water into the cytoplasm takes place. Then morphology of irreversible cell injury, it is divided into following. In that first one is autolysis. Autolysis means self digestion. Auto means self and lysis means digestion. Autolysis is disintegration of the cell by its two hydrolytic enzyme liberated from lysosomes. Then necrosis. Necrosis is defined as a localized area of death of tissue followed by degradation of tissue by hydrolytic enzymes liberated from dead cells. It is invariably accompanied by inflammatory reaction. Then next is apoptosis, is form of coordinated and internally programmed cell death having significance in a variety of physiologic and pathologic condition. The next is gangrene. Gangrene is a form of necrosis of tissue with superadded putrefaction. The type of necrosis is usually coagulative due to ischemia. The types of gangrene is three types: dry gangrene, wet gangrene and gas gangrene. So first we will see dry gangrene. This form of gangrene being in the distal part of a limb due to ischemia. The typical example is of the dry gangrene. In them, toes and feet of the old patient due to atherosclerosis. The second is wet gangrene. Wet gangrene occurs in naturally moist tissue and organs such as mouth, bowel, lungs, cervix and vulva. The example is diabetic foot due to high sugar content in the necrosed tissue which favors growth of bacteria. And the last is gas gangrene. It is a partial form of wet gangrene caused by gas forming Clostridia, that is gram positive anaerobic bacteria. These are the references. Thank you so much for patient listening.